Alright guys, what's up? It's Alpha Heavy Gamer and welcome to the channel. So let's jump right in here. So it's finally here. The F-4F ICE is here, and guess what? Some people are not happy that Germany is getting a third generation AMRAAM slinging Silver Fox. And yeah, I know the F-4 is a pretty old plane. Many nations have already retired it or are starting to retire. But many people, including myself, we've waited a long time for the F-4 ICE. And when you look at where this aircraft was going to come in at, you knew it was going to be hard for Gaijin to balance this. So now that it has arrived, it's clear that, the competition is going to be fierce, and Germany has a long way to go before the Eurofighter is viable in the game. So this means a lengthy wait for an upgrade if Gaijin sticks strictly to German aircraft, which I doubt. But I do think they missed an opportunity with the Dutch F-16AM going to France instead. They could have used a Belgian F-16 for France, but I digress. That's a different video. So if you are upset about this, I think you should just cheer up regardless of all this stuff going on. The F-4F improved combat efficiency. It is still a significant upgrade to the F-4, a third generation fighter. You get the APG-65 radar, an updated RWR, you get the AM-120 AMRAAMs. You get AM-9Ls, but a modified version of that with IRCM. I think it's the I-1. So you still have some formidable tools for engaging enemy fighters. The F-4 is a proven airframe. It's been continuously improved since its conception in the 1950s. It does have some still very serious flaws though, namely its maneuverability. And if you're going to play sim, cockpit visibility isn't very good out of the F-4. Now, there are some other things the F-4F ICE is going to have going for it, with the nerf to multipathing, which is now down to 50 meters from 100 meters, and that was revealed by data miners. So, hopefully that does make it to the live server, and that doesn't change. You also have an option to play in reduced aircraft matches with a maximum of 12 aircraft instead of 16. So I'm kind of glad Gaijin is doing that. With so many airplanes in a match, it is just not going to be fun, especially with all these Fox 3s. That should give the F-4F ICE maybe a little bit more room, to be competitive and narrow the gap against fourth generation fighters if you fly it smartly. So what does that mean? It means you really got to know your limits. Flat out, we know that the F-4F ICE will lose every dogfight against F-14s, F-16s, 15s, Su-27s, you name it. The ICE will lose that fight to a good pilot every time. So the winning move is just to assume that your opponent is better than you and not try to dogfight every fourth generation fighter you see, because it's going to end up with you going back to the hangar. You have equality in BVR tools, but you don't have equality when it comes to your airframe. But the question is, will the F-4F ICE be too weak because of these faults? I say no. A change in tactics will be required, using your AMRAAMs within good shooting parameters, cranking, going cold, all that hardcore, try-hard DCS world stuff that people don't like to hear when they play this game, because they just get bored of hearing about that. You're going to need to do those things to stay alive now. This is a massive change in the meta, and I think people can still have good games in the F-4F ICE simply because it has good missiles. You have a good radar, and it's a somewhat reliable platform. You won't be able to take the fight to the enemy without support. You're going to need your teammates, but you will be able to punish overconfident players in better airplanes. So just to finish out here, if you love the F-4, if you have real affinity for this aircraft, this has got to be an exciting time. This is the most capable F-4 in the game. You won't be on the cutting edge, but I think you will have fun. And who knows, maybe Gaijin has plans for a Swiss F-18 for Germany. As something that could come in and bridge the gap to the Eurofighter. And if I'm completely wrong, and the F-4F ICE turns out to be the worst top tier aircraft with Fox 3s, maybe Germany, could get the F-18 as like an emergency measure. Gaijin's done that before. They've come to the rescue of certain nations that needed something because their product was underperforming. And if you hate the idea of a Swiss F-18, now that Fox 3s are in the next update, really anything else is possible. Anything else that Gaijin could figure out, they could shoehorn in there. it's their vision for the game. I don't know what they're going to do when it comes to bridging the gap for Germany before the Eurofighter comes into the game. Alright guys, so I'm going to close the video out here, but let me know what you think, especially if you're a German main or you really just love the F4. Do you think this is going to be enough to face the shiny toys everybody else is getting? Are you disappointed that Germany is getting the ice at this stage? Would you have rather seen it before? You know, if we had saw it before, it wouldn't have had the AMRAAMs, and it would have kind of been like, well, why are we bringing this in now? But I kind of knew this was going to happen. Some aircraft just have, you know, they're just going to miss that window a little bit. They're going to arrive too late, and then they're going to end up being bad. I hope that's not the case for the ice, but we'll see. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.